Hello Year 10. It seems like quite a while since I last did you a video, and an absolute age since I last did an assembly with you in the NAC. However, I am recording this video for a very good reason. Now, one of the highlights normally in Year 10 is the ability for our students to carry out a week's worth of work experience placements. Now, I know it's been a very strange year, very unsettled year. However, I'm very pleased to announce that we still intend to carry out this work experience placement week for Year 10. Now, it won't be the same as previous years. There will be slight adjustments due to the current climate. However, to go through the logistics with you on how this will all work, I've invited Mrs. Calder, who is the careers lead at Northgate, to come and speak to you about that. So more from Mrs. Calder in a second. So, as you're coming to the end of Year 10, it is the perfect time to now think about what you want to do in your future. And actually, work experience is the perfect way to sample a career or an option that you have in your head. You can experience what it's like without actually having to commit to it. So it allows you to get a sense of what's out there. So it's your ability to explore what you think you want to go on to do. It also gives you lots of opportunities to develop your soft skills, which you can apply in school. Things like teamwork, communication, confidence, all of those things will be naturally built in that week's worth of placement. Because you're doing things and tasks that you wouldn't normally do in school, it helps you to build your confidence, and also it allows you to become more self-reliant, which is what you'll need in Year 11. It also gives you that extra knowledge that you can apply to schoolwork. So it gives you that extra insight, which then you can use to your advantage. One of the things that we are going to be developing with you over the next year or so is your CV. Now, work experience is a fantastic thing to place on your CV, and it gives you something to talk about at interview. Now, lots of employers will not give a second glance to any job application unless there is work experience on the application. So this is a very good time for you to get some work experience in a field that you would like to go into, and then we can put that onto your CV. Now, there are many reasons why Northgate is committed to a Year 10 work experience week, but on the slide in front of you, you can see just how many reasons there are. Now, work experience can really help to increase confidence, improve your self-esteem, because you will achieve a lot in a really short amount of time. The experience can give a lot of improvements to your soft skills, which are vital in all walks of life, including teamwork, problem-solving, communication. You can gain industry insights by learning about business structure and the potential future in that industry. It allows you to show interest in the career and gives you a chance to really impress the employer. Meeting new people allows you to expand your network, make new contacts, discover job opportunities, and build business relationships. Find employment by being ahead of the competition. Companies recruiting by looking at work experience and having a route in for certain jobs. And it allows you to impress at interview by having good interview content, enhancing your CV, and by grabbing the attention of an employer. So, hopefully, you are very excited by this opportunity, because it's certainly an opportunity that I didn't think we could do this year. However, now I'm going to pass on to Mrs. Calder, who is going to outline exactly how this is going to work and go through the logistics of work experience for Year 10.
Hi there, Year 10. So, as Mr. Songhurst has explained, Year 10 work experience is going to be slightly different this year. I'm just going to take the next few minutes to talk through with you how work experience will run for Year 10 this year at Northgate. You can see from the screen that our work experience week is the week of Monday the 12th of July through to Friday the 16th of July. Now, we're keen that as many of you as possible have the opportunity to go out and complete work experience in the workplace with an employer. We're asking that you use your contacts that you have through your friends and your family and your personal networks to try and secure a week's work experience for the week of the 12th to the 16th of July. So go home, have a chat with your parents, with friends, family, to see whether you can try and find a local employer that you can complete that week's work experience with. For students who can't find a work experience placement, we will run a week of in-school work-related learning activities, and you will have the opportunity to take part in enterprise days, mini taster sessions, and networking opportunities. So if you would like to actually go out into the workplace and complete a week's work experience with an employer, you need to be really proactive and start to pull on those contacts that you have, your friends and family, to find an employer for you to go out and do that week's work experience with. If you're sourcing your own work experience placement, then there are a few checks that the school will need to do. So if you have found an employer who will support you with a week's work experience, you will need to fill in an employer placement form. Now, this is really important that we have that back. When we get the employer placement form back from you, we will then carry out a health and safety check and check the employer's liability insurance. Now, if the employer doesn't have employer's liability insurance, you would not be able to go out on work experience with them. The only exception to that might be if you're doing your work experience with a close member of your family and your parent carer is happy to sign a form to confirm that they realise that the employer doesn't have employer's liability insurance in place and they're happy for you to go out. We will also need a parental consent form back from you. So this is a form that your parent carer needs to fill in to confirm that they're happy for you to have a week out in a workplace with that employer. We're keen that you have a full range of opportunities available to you, and some students in previous years have completed work experience placements out of county, so with employers that aren't local to us in Ipswich. Now, this is absolutely fine, but again, we have an out of county placement form that your parent carer will need to fill in to confirm the arrangements for your travel to and from that work placement, or if you're staying overnight, the arrangements for you to stay overnight while you do your work experience. That form will need to be returned along with the parental consent form if that's the case. Now, the school has sourced a small number of work experience placements which we will allocate to students. Now, unfortunately, this year we're not going to be able to find enough work experience placements for it to be able to allocate one to each student in year 10. So we're asking you to use your own networks and contacts to try and find your own work experience placement. When you are out on placement, Northgate staff will call within the first couple of days of you being there to check that you've arrived okay, you've settled in and you're doing well. And then towards the end of that week, a member of Northgate staff will visit you to just see how you're getting on or how you got on that week in the workplace and to get some feedback from both you and the employer that you've worked with. So we're hoping as many of you as possible will be able to find your own work experience placements. The school will have a small number that we can allocate to students. And then those of you that aren't able to find a work experience placement, so aren't able to go out with an employer on work experience, will have the opportunity to take part in a week of work-related learning activities in school. So if you're going to apply directly for your work experience, so if you're keen to go out there and you want to sort of contact some local companies to see whether or not they can support you with work experience, usually you would need to send a CV with a cover letter to contact that company directly. It might be worth perhaps giving them a call if you're comfortable talking over the phone to see whether or not they could support work experience. Some industries will have age restrictions, so when you're drawing up your list of companies that you're interested in, perhaps sort of have quite a broad range of ideas of places that you'd want to contact. We have a list of organisations on our website. So on the careers pages, there's a year 10 work experience page, and on there's a list of organisations that we ask you not to contact. Now, the reason we ask you not to contact these organisations are that they're organisations the school has already been in contact with about year 10 work experience, and they have either been able to offer us a placement that we will allocate to students, or they have said that they're not in a position this year to offer work experience. experience. So we ask that you do not contact these organisations because they have already been contacted by the school. Right, if you do secure your own work experience placement, we need the employer placement form and the completed parental consent form returned to either myself or Mrs. Faulkner Simpson in Careers by the 14th of June. Both of these forms can be found on the Year 10 Work Experience page on the school website, and it's important that they're returned to us by the 14th of June. If you have not secured your own work experience placement and returned those 2 completed forms to us by the 14th of June, you will be able to do the in-school work experience week. So if we don't have the forms back by the 14th of June, you will be doing the in-school work experience week for the week of the 12th to the 16th of July. Make sure that you really go into your work experience with an open mind. So whether it's the in-school work experience week or whether it's the going out and doing some work experience with a local employer, make sure that each day you arrive on time and that you're dressed appropriately. Be happy to be there and be polite. Have a go at new things. So whether you're going out on work experience or whether you're taking part in the work experience activities within school, just be willing to have a go, try new things. The work experience related week in school will really push you out of your comfort zone. So just have a go at things and make the most of all those opportunities that work experience will offer you. Make sure that you show enthusiasm and interest. So you'll perhaps on work experience be asked to do a wide range of jobs. So make sure that you show that you're keen to learn and take a pride in that work you do. You will have some quieter periods on work experience. So what we will give you is a work experience logbook. And when you are slightly quieter with your work experience, it's a good chance for you to complete that work experience logbook to record what you've done each day and some of your thoughts and feelings, some reflections on the work that you've been doing in the workplace. So regardless of whether you're going out on work experience or you're doing the in-school work experience week, there will be a logbook to complete, and it is important that you really have a go and fully take part and embrace the opportunities that you're given. So just finally from me, I want to just run through some key dates so we're very clear on how the deadlines involved and how work experience will run for Year 10 this year. So your Year 10 Work Experience Week is running from Monday the 12th of July through to Friday the 16th of July. If you are sourcing your own placement, so if you have found your own work experience placement, then the deadline for you to return the employer placement form and the parental consent form is the 14th of June. We will allocate the work experience placements that the school has found to students by the 18th of June. We ask that those students then return the parental consent form by the 25th of June. We will not be able to accept parental consent forms returned after that date. So if you have not returned the parental consent form for work experience by the 25th of June, that placement will be reallocated to another student and you will then join the in-school work experience week. Then we will come together on Monday the 19th of July for a Work Experience Enterprise Review Day. This will give the chance for all of Year 10 to come together again and share their experiences of being out in the workplace and completing the work experience week within school. So we hope this will be an absolutely fantastic week for you, Year 10. I'm keen for as many of you as possible to still go out there into the workplace and experience what it's like to be out there and doing a job. For those of you that aren't able to secure a work experience place in the workplace, we've got a fantastic week for you lined up, which we'll tell you more about a bit nearer the time. So best of luck. If you do need any support, then you can find either myself or Mrs. Faulkner Simpson in Careers. It's in the Careers Library, opposite the main school library in the admin block. So if you do have any questions, any queries or concerns about work experience at all, then please do come and see either myself or Mrs. Faulkner Simpson, and we're very happy to help you. So I hope you have a fantastic week that week, and we're looking forward to working with you to make sure that you get the most of the opportunities that are given to you during the work experience week. Thank you.